Alright, so this is Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores continuation. So for right now, I would say I'm continuing where I last left off. However, I would say that I was speaking in regards to something in the last video, and that last video was offline, straight from PlayStation, and it's about movement of the body and movement of character. It's in the part 3 of this video, but this is the part 3 continuation, basically. So I would say what, echo? There's an echo there. Well, I can't hear it, so I wonder if okay, I'll just leave it at that. That's too, I think that's too high. That's a little too high. I'll leave it at that. Shouldn't go that high. Maybe that's not too high. Maybe that's just the right amount. Alright, that's fine. So I'll state it again in the video.
Want to grab a drink later?
Just once. You see how she's running up here? And up here and here? Well, 5 years back, probably more than that, there are programs, different 3D programs that allow you to move a character from place to place, over, under, around things, but it's not the character that's being moved. It's the object attached to the character. Like it's linked to the silhouette of the character's components. Like it's linked to the character's body movement in total, and that body link is in the inside of the character. So that body movement, which is a huge circle, is linked inside the character, whereas the character themselves is in an animation state, moving by themselves. So the character is not technically moving at all, even though their hands and their legs are moving. The object within the character, or let's say there's a invisible ball around the character, or a silhouette of the character. Let's say the silhouette of the character is allowing the character to move, or the object around the character, the code is embedded in the character, or the object embedded in the little circle around the character is moving. So it's that circle is moving up here, around here, and as that circle is moving, it's like your eye is moving. So you don't see the character. That circle or that attachment doesn't see the character that's moving along with it. You only see is the building. It's like going into photo mode, where you're seeing the various different things in the world in photo mode. And you're going up the stairs in photo mode. And you're going here in photo mode, and around here in photo mode, and looking at the different people here, looking at this person here, turning around and looking here. So as you're looking around, basically you're that ball and you're moving around, and what happened is that ball is then attached to the character, but it's attached to the character in one direction, though the movement of you looking around within the environment is not attached to the character. It's a separate programmed to allow you to look around, though the ball itself, which is the L3 button, can only go left, right, forward, backwards, this way, and this way. So the ball cannot go anywhere else other than where the ball's supposed to go. It's supposed to go left, it's supposed to go right, it's supposed to go back, it's supposed to go forward, or it's supposed to go in a circle. So the ball does not know the direction it's going. The ball only knows it's going left, right, up, down, or forward, backwards. So if you're trying to get to a town and the town's located to the far left or the far right, but the ball cannot see the town on the far left or far right, you have to go this way until you see the town on the left, or see the ocean on the left, and then you go to said ocean. Same as here. You'd have to go and keep going until you see these plank woods, and you're near the plank woods, and then keep going left until you see this little bridge here, and you go through here, and you could go at an angle to get through it, or angle to go back through it. But it's an angle north and south. You cannot turn to see the different angles of it. You can only go north, south, east, west, because that's where the ball can go. The ball can only go those directions. It cannot go with regards to perspective. It can only go towards direction. So then the ball, you stop the ball, and the ball stops. So now the ball is then given a secondary code, and the code is for R3 to look around. So even though the ball is stationary, the R3 is not allowed for you to move in the directions you want to move. So if you want to go forward, backwards, left, or right, the ball will not move, because it's not allowed to move. It's just allowed for you to look left, right, up, down. That's all. For the simple purpose of seeing everything around you. And that's it. So when you're moving and both codes are working at the same time simultaneously, you can move up, down, left, right, look backwards, and go in any direction you want for an easier ride. And the last of the last will be the code for her to move the body, for moving her body. Not just code for her for the ball to move, but code for her body to move. For her head to move side to side, her arms to move forward, and her legs. Now, let's say you stop the ball from moving. The character is also stopped as well, because the animation for the character movement is linked to the movement of the ball itself. So when the character moves its body, the environment or the ball moves around as well, because the ball is what's actually moving in motion with regards to the character animation moving simultaneously. In other words, it's the ball that's pushing the character forward, not the character moving forward. It's like she's running in place, but in order for her to move forward, you must have a direction pointing towards a location or towards a thing for it to proceed and move along with the character. So that thing is moving along with the character. It's not really pushing the character, but it is kind of pushing the character, or at least it's moving with the character. consider Aloy to be like a, you know, a gerbil. Consider her to be like a gerbil. And you have your gerbil inside your little, you know, gerbil wheel, and it's running. But it's not running in that gerbil wheel in one location. Just keeps running on the spin, run, 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 run. And that's all it's doing. So it's not just running in place. It runs in the direction that it's moving in. Well, actually, it is kind of running in place, but the wheel is not staying in one place. The wheel is moving. When the gerbil moves, the wheel also moves based on the terrain. So that's what the code allows you to do. The code allows you to move the wheel, and the wheel is moving through the environment, and the character is moving with the wheel. So it's, even though the character is running, and it seems like just the character is running over these terrains, it's actually like an invisible code allowing her to move along with the terrain, even though she's running in place. So I already said this in the last video. I think it was important to make clear exactly what that is as well. So when people are seeing a character traversing the environment, and it's not really the character that's traversing the environment. It's the code or the ball that's traversing the environment. Like, remove Aloy from this image right here, right now. And imagine a ball is in Aloy's place, and the ball is rolling left and right around this whole terrain. That's what's moving. The object in motion. But you can't have a character be a ball. You have to have the character move. So the easy fix is to have the code from the ball, or the character pretend to be the ball. Take the code from the ball and apply it to the character. So when the character runs and the character is running in place, the character is now given the ability to be the ball. So when you see certain characters running, and even though they're running on terrain, it doesn't look like they're running on terrain. It looks like sometimes like they're running over terrain. They're running through it, but you don't see, it doesn't feel like they're running over terrain and stuff. It just feels like they're running like almost over the surface quite smoothly rather than impact on the surface. That's what that is. In games that are being good, however, they allowed for the character's feet, they allow for the character's motion to do impact with regards to the movement. So there's a code for impact with regards to sand. There's a code for impact with regards to grassy stuff. There's a code for impact with regards to water. So when she's running through water, there's an impact in the water to make it feel like she's running through, or sound, or impact to show the impact like it's water that you're running through, impact, where it's just debris from impact on the ground and debris from the ground going into the air. It's impact of sparks on water going into the ground, the sound of impact on the ground and water flying into the air, and impact of the footprint on the ground being deeper. So the impact, the code for the impact is to be deep prints along with splashes and sound effects. So there are 3 codes for simply the water itself to apply to the character that's running through it. So there's code for that, and then there's the code for non-deep prints unrelated to the water. It's just like, say if you're in the desert and you're running in the desert, the prints on the floor won't be deep. There will be light prints like this. So they won't be deep prints. But the code for running in the water, if you see it, they're deep prints because the print in water is linked to the water itself. So the code for running in water has to be different than the code for running on plane surfaces. That's their way of doing the whole dry surface, wet surface thing. So there's a code for the ball moving Aloy. Then there's a code for Aloy running along with the ball. And then there's a code for the direction of moving along with the ball moving. Because if the ball moves forward, the ball moves backwards. The ball moves right, the ball moves left. You don't know that the town is over here because you're not moving the R3. Because the ball is not allowed to, the ball code is not attached to it yet, to the R3. So you can only see it. But if you attach the ball code to the character or to the R3, you're now able to move the R3 code and the ball code together as one. So both the ball code and the R3 code are moving, and then the code for the character to move in the arm and legs and the hair to move are also moving along with the ball code and the look around code. There are three codes with regards to just moving the character around on things. And then there are the attachment codes, which is impact off the feet to give realism. Because when you run on the surface and it feels like you're just running on top of the surface, but there's no effect of the surface, they have to then create codes for effect on surface, on snow, on grass, and as well as sound effects. So there are three codes attached to just movement on terrains. So there are three codes for attached towards Aloy herself, 3 or 4 codes for just movement around and looking ring around, and then there's 3 codes attached to just her feet herself for impact on surfaces as well as when climbing. So there's a lot of code that goes into games. So I said that before in the last video. I'm just emphasizing that before I get into the mission, just in case. So every now and again I just do a little, if you don't understand how games work and how coding works, that's something. That's one thing to remember. Now this, granted, this was coding from 10 years ago, I remember. So coding might be different now, but the foundations of coding does not change. That's why I say it's important to read when it comes to specific things you're into. Because if you ever run across someone that says they know more than you about something, or something that sounds off, especially if you're into it or into that type of lifestyle, art, or wherever,
Time to head out?
you can always know bullshit when you hear it.
Okay, so shall we get going to Starlight Rise?
Like I said, this is knowledge from about 10 years ago. How coding works in games might have changed in the past 10 years, but the foundations have always been the same. So I'll just get into mission and stop talking about that.
Yeah, let's go. So what now?
Up you go. Something wrong?
Of course not. Oh, it's a little snug.
I'll manage.
Oh, shit!
Hold on back there.
Oh, one last thing. I know LGBTQ is a big thing that's going on nowadays, but everything is turning into LGBTQ. It's really freaking annoying. So I swear to God, I hope this is not a Aloy is a lesbian type of thing, because I'm going to be pissed if that's the case. I don't mind that she is, but everything nowadays is going in that direction. At this point, Aloy is trying to save the world. If I find that she ever gets into a relationship, then I'll say, what the hell was what was going on in Zero Dawn when she could have had a relationship with the dudes there? Two of them. And in Forbidden West, before Burning Shores, she could have had a relationship with another two dudes. But she never did. So in Burning Shores, all of a sudden she has a relationship with someone, and that turns out to be a woman. I might start I might start to question a lot of things that's going on in the game world, because that would seem forced from a third party. So Aloy is like an Achilles type, but without the prejudice and without the self-centeredness, or like a Kratos type. It would take her years before she even settled down and have a Atreus. Not right now. So if she gets into a relationship right now, I'll be like, get the hell out of here. No, it's too soon for that shit. So it better not be in this game.
Starlight Rise is just across the water. I guess we'll see if this living ancestor has something to do with my missing people.
Look, once we get into the ruin, we might find data that your focus model isn't able to make sense of. I'm sending you an update, so you'll be able to see what's going on.
Oh, thanks. You sure seem at ease with the focus. Is that why your tribe made you an outcast?
No, not exactly. They cast me out when I was born. In fact, everything I've done, including needing to use a focus, was in spite of them.
Sounds familiar.
It gets easier, you know.
What? Clinging to the back of a sunwing?
That too.
Just worry about steering this thing, okay?
Sure.
But I hope people understand what I meant by that. If they wanted to make Aloy a lesbian, they could have made her a lesbian in the first game from the jump. I don't care what sex she is or what she's into. It just feels very forced nowadays. Like in everything. It's cool and all, but if she's going to be like that in the story, it better be a pretty damn good, reasonable one for her to go, you know, to be a lesbian.
That's what Diviner Vi saw.
Better be a good damn reason. Hell, it better be a good reason if she's with a dude. In fact, it better be even more of a reason why she wants to get with a dude than with a woman. That's even more of a reason why. I want to know that reason. Because she clearly was stated she wasn't into men in the first one. Or into men in the Forbidden West. So, or into anyone for that matter. So if she's into men or women, I'm going to be pissed off if they're giving her a relationship now. She hasn't even saved the world yet. Wait, was I not supposed to jump off? I'm supposed to land with the... What do you mean, what about the mission? You're up... Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I forgot she... Okay, so that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. She doesn't know how to operate this thing. So she wouldn't know how to land it. So that's my bad.
Okay, we should follow your people's trail. See if we can figure out why they were here.
Looks like they left some equipment behind.
Another reason why I like this game. A lot of people who are average gamers or would bitch about that. Like, she could jump off and she's supposed to stay there. Like, so why isn't it landing? Why doesn't it allow for the sunwing to come down with the girl? Because it cannot come down unless Aloy allows it to come down.
The Ballista tore straight through the machine's armor. This bolt looks pretty sturdy too.
My people had to fight while they built all this, but they kept going anyway.
Let's stay on their trail. People had a big operation here. But why? I'm not sure. But I bet one was involved.
Well, looks like they set up some ladders to get up to that excavation. But the path's broken now.
We'll have to make our own way up. Another ballista.
Good shot! Wrong place! Aim for the ladders! Shoot between the ladders, Aloy! Don't think that'll help us! Good shot! Wrong place! Aim for the ladders! Shoot between the ladders, Aloy!
We can use the bolts as climbing points.
Good idea!
Another reason why this game is good. Like when you get lost, sometimes the game will give you like hints and advice where you're supposed to go. Because the game is family friendly. It's made for all ages. So children might not get onto things fast as adults do, and sometimes adults themselves don't get things fast, especially if they haven't played games. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta do it again.
Nice climber. Better catch up to her.
I swear to God, it's sounding like they're trying to turn her into this, turn this chick to be into some relationship with Aloy. But then again, those other dudes in the first game were trying to kind of do the same thing.
There's a
So-
door up there across the chasm.
That better
See
not
if
be
there's
the
a way out.
case. I didn't want none of those dudes to be with Aloy from the jump anyway. So this chick shouldn't get any fair treatment either. LGBTQ is good, but when it's forced, then it's just as toxic as anything else. Everyone should respect everything in life.
Way up
Everyone.
looks broken. Maybe the clamberjaws did it.
Hold on!
Balance for everybody.
I've got an idea!
What are you doing?
We can use this ballista to make another path!
do it. Let's get climbing.
Yeah, don't mind me. Just holding this up. Okay, letting her go. That thing was heavier than it looked.
Making progress.
Yeah, right into the spooky abandoned ruin.
Your people put a lot of effort into getting in here. Almost like they were after something.
Or someone had a knife to their throats.
We'll find your sister. Don't worry.
You don't have to comfort me, you know. I'm fine.
I want to help.
Oh man, I can't believe how funny that is. I just realized I was saying I swear to God, just like that chick who was playing Dead Island 2 when she couldn't get off Fury mode. The whole time in the last boss fight, she couldn't get off Fury mode. She fought him like 10 or 20 times, probably even more than that. She couldn't get off Fury mode once in the boss battle. And then all of a sudden, she just randomly decided to go to a random mission. And then all of a sudden, Fury mode got activated. And she was so pissed off. She was like, Fury mode? Fury mode is ready, is it? Fury mode is ready? I swear to God. I swear to God.
Climber Joss.
She was like so pissed off. She's like, I swear to God.
She's stopping me.
But she kept whispering and say, I swear to God. I swear to God. She was losing it. That's why I started to use that I swear to God thing. Simply because she using it. It was funny as hell. Because it's so true.
This is definitely
All of a
Londra's old
sudden, Fury
headquarters.
mode kicks in
Down
randomly sometimes in that game.
is
It's
that
100% true how sometimes that
Right
game
out.
is unbalanced. People are willing to give that game a pass, but there are certain things in that game that are unbalanced.
All this must have been brutal to excavate.
It's a prototype for a rocket engine. It never got off the ground. The way it was designed made it too dangerous.
Dangerous how?
Like it would poison everything in a 1,000-mile radius if it got used.
Oh,
Let's keep moving.
so this engine, it was for traveling to the heavens? The diviners say the ancestors could do this.
Yeah. Londra launched ships into space to search for resources.
But why dig all this out now?
We should... keep following the trail.
Okay.
Regarding the slipstream engine, my engineers tell me that even in the event of an accident, they can contain the fallout. But they don't grasp how effectively my enemies can harness public paranoia. That's the real fallout.
It's a recording of Londra from before he left Earth.
getting hot in here.
Whoa. The ruins split in two. Gwen pressed on.
Oh no.
So here's another knowledge. In this game, you have vast amount of resources. If you're first playing the game, Zero Dawn or this game, here's something to know. Just because you have all these stuff does not mean that you could equip all of them. It means you have various pouches on your body, physical pouches on your body. And they try to go the more human direction with regards to this. So you have a pouch that's on your waist or something. You don't see it a lot because they don't show it. That's on your waist that carries potions. Then you have a pouch that carries food. And then you have a pouch that carries traps. That's also on your body. And a pouch that carries utilities so that you could throw out a beckoning call for a mount or attach things to your weapons and so on and so forth. So basically she has 3 pouches or 3 bags, if you don't want to use pouches, on her body. She has a utility bag, she has a trap bag, she has food bag, and she has a potion bag. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for each of those, you're given a certain limited amount that you could have and equipped in combat. So even though you're carrying 4 bags, you can only use 7 for 6. Yeah, you can only use 7 of any type. So if you just want to use one of this, 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 and one of this, you now have a total of 8. So you're over the amount. So you cannot have 8. It would limit you to have 8. You can only use 7 things in combat, even though it's showing that you have 8 of them. So that's the reason why I can't craft another pouch, because she has a nice little herb thing in her bag that she drinks for health, and then she fumbles through her bag, and then there are 2 of these things lying in her bag that she's fumbling through, and then she fumbles through the bag, and there's another 2 of these things also lying next to these things in her bag. So it's giving you the imagination, or the idea of an imagination, that there's an animation, that there's a bag. So when she's going through looking down like she's doing this, it doesn't show the bag, it shows her in this down state looking through a bag, but they didn't create the animation for the bag. So she's actually looking inside a bag of many things. She's basically putting all of her bag down, every single one of them, and she's scrambling through the various different bag types. So when she put a bag down, you don't know what bag she's putting down, because it's supposed to be in your mind that she's putting down all the bags at once, and whichever bag you go through is the one that she'll select when she's going through them. So if you're going through this bag and if you're going through this bag all at the same time, it's to your imagination that she has all of them in front of you, in front of her, and she's going through them. So in each bag you only allow a certain amount of items to use in said bag in combat, or not even in combat, but in the world itself. So she can only have 7 of a thing to use while in the game, whether in or out of combat. That's why I can't make another one. So even if you have enough resources for potion, you can only use a maximum of 7 potions of any type, as long as 7. It could be 7 pure staminas, but because you made 7 pure staminas, you cannot use any health or anything because you have 7 staminas. So the game is trying to be fair at distributing things, but you're only limited to a certain amount of things you can use, simply because if you use and keep creating more and more of each of every one of these things over and over again, the fight will be easy. Any of the fight will be easy, because you could always drink and replenish it like you're in, Witcher 3. You could keep making infinite amount of potions and keep eating infinite apples over and over and over again just to get a slight boost in health. So that was the problem I always found with Witcher 3, that even if you run out of apples or cakes or wines that you drank while you're in combat, fighting with a sword while drinking ale at the same time, eventually you run out of alcohol or you run out of berries and you have no more berries to replenish health. But you will always have meat and other stuff, like you rip off a piece of chicken and you're eating a chicken while you're sword fighting. You will always have something to eat in that game. That game is, you will never not run out of resources. So I always had a problem with food in that game because there was always enough. You never had to worry about making sure you're careful about your resources.
Crushed. Looks like some kind of construction accident.
This was Lena from the galley. We weren't exactly friends, but she didn't deserve to be worked to death. How could an ancestor do this to my people?
Knowing Londra and his kind, I can't say I'm surprised.
We better find a way up and across. We'll need to make a path.
Now I always tell people this: if I'm incorrect about something, it's because I haven't got to a certain point in the game that it corrects me about that something, or I didn't see it the way others people see it, and then I sleep on it and I wake up and say, oh, okay, so it was actually that way, and my bad, I was wrong because I didn't understand what was going on. It doesn't mean I didn't know. It's that how it was produced or developed and put in the game was not the way how I was thinking about it. Because even if a tutorial tells you how to do something, how it's set up in the game might not be the way you understand it. But then if you understand it the way someone tells it to you, then you know. It does not mean that you do not know the thing. It just means you haven't gotten to that point to understand the thing. Because I never knew about the whole potion thing until I really sat down and thought about it. And I wonder what the hell was going on with the potions, why I can't use all of them or different ones. The game allowed you only to use a certain amount. So if you don't pay attention to the tutorial or what the game says because you're just running and gunning, you will miss that. And thus it's not stupid. You're not stupid because you miss it. It's simply because you did not pay attention to it. So if someone unsubscribed to your channel because you missed something, because some other dude corrected you, and someone was watching it and said, oh, well, this asshole don't know what he's talking about. See, the other dude corrected him. It's not that he was right. It's just that you didn't get to that point yet to know what was going on in the game. Like I did in Zombie Army 4, when someone corrected me. And it's like, no, you're not right. I'm right. And in the end, I was right. It's just that it's not relevant. You could get by it without it. But I was still right. But people who, the guy that unsubscribed, didn't understand that. It's like, you just thought you were stupid. It's like, no, you really have to understand human beings and read, man.
Another ballista. Maybe we can use it.
I'll shoot this time.
By all means.
You never jump the gun. You never assume someone is stupid. You just have to.
Handhold in the bridge there.
Try and get to that ballista further up.
Like if you
Make the jump.
like if you think someone is stupid, then you question them.
I can reach it.
But if not, if that's not the case, then you're fine.
me guess. You won?
You learn fast. There. All done.
That's a lot of lava. Everyone's practically turned into a volcano. Okay, another ballista. Time to return the favor.
Make a path over here.
No need to yell. I've tapped you into my focus.
Whoa. Hi.
Hi there.
So, how about those climbing points? Down here, Aloy. Nice job. That's enough to get me to the first ledge. Try near me. Okay, now to get up there. Made it. Let's see where this leads.
Watch out, more clamberjaws.
I see him.
Guess it's my turn to shred the machines.
Oh, you think you can do better than me?
We'll see. How about that from here? Got it!
That's the last of them. Gonna make a few head hooks for myself and I'll finish your path. You know, this reminds me of target practice out at sea. My squad held a wager over who could hit the most marks. Winner would have to swap decks.
Let me guess. You won?
You learn fast. There. All done.
Okay, another ballista. Time to return the favor.
Make a path over here.
No need to yell. I've tapped you into my focus.
Whoa. Hi.
Hi there.
Okay, now to get up there. Made it. Let's see where this leads.
Watch out, more clamberjaws.
I see him.
Guess it's my turn to shred the machines.
Oh, you think you can do better than me?
We'll see. How about that from here? Got it! That's all of them. And, I think I just set a new ballista record.
Yeah. I guess you're a decent shot. Now, last climb. You know what to do.
Yeah, on.
Heading up.
That should do it. Just gotta find my way over.
can make it?
Oh, just watch me.
Okay.
One lava-filled chasm conquered.
You did pretty well back there. We're, not a bad team.
Glad you think so. I always wanted a sidekick.
Okay, I see how it is.
After you.
Can't open doors without your sidekick, huh?
Just giving you a chance to shine. All right, let's see where my people's trail leads. All of this is so old. What could they possibly have wanted from this place?
Good question.
The doubters whined that the city would never sell its precious landmark. The price was indeed astronomical. But the observatory could have no better steward than I. Perfect headquarters for one whose vision extends to the stars.
An observatory?
A place where anyone could look at the stars. Until Landra took over anyway.
Faro Automated Solutions upped their orders for 6 different non-terrestrial minerals this month. Our inventory is running low. What are you up to, Ted? Promising new project? Or just another monument to yourself?
Landra in business with Pharaoh. Why am I
Damn
not
it.
surprised?
Another one.
Crushed by rubble. Maybe when digging this out.
I think his name was Kira. They couldn't even give him a proper burial.
I'll put this to good use.
Nice find.
Oh, that's good. It's a new weapon. Sky Hammer. Actually, I really wish they gave her a hammer in this game. She's always using the spare. Like, this is her default favorite thing to use, her spare. But I'm pretty sure she could use other weapons. She just preferred the spear. It's another thing I kind of found when I was taking points off from the game. I never liked that she always uses the spear and the bow. But then when they got deeper into Zero Dawn, she started to use different weapons as well. But she never got rid of the spear. Like the spear is her default thing. And in this game, it's the same thing. She has a default spear or melee weapon. It doesn't really make sense to keep the same type of melee weapon, but you have different type of projectile weapons. But who knows? Maybe they want to keep it that one thing, just that one thing the same. To have the spear behave like a melee weapon, like a sword and a hammer at the same time, and a spear. But it never behaved that way. It never did. It just behaved like a spear. So maybe they'll fix it, maybe they won't. So each one of these requires 5 points. Okay, so I need 5 more. Multi-billionaire Walter Landra was at the peak of his life and career. Okay, so he was another one of these dudes that lived during the time of Pharaoh. That was owner of his own company, a huge company that mined, was an asteroid mining company. So okay, so this guy was in charge of mining resources in space, and eventually, based on what was introduced in the first um, at the beginning of Burning Shores, with regards to this guy, he was kind of a playboy as well, but he was also in charge of human population to other planets, or at least the whole population of people leaving Earth for the destruction by machines. So far, Zenith was um, was a separate organization and from Pharaoh's organization. And Landra had his own corporation, but he was in league with Far Zenith. So even though he was had his own buildings, his own companies, everything going for himself separately, and he didn't need Far Zenith. He was simply uh, probably one of their executives, contributing towards the success of Far Zenith research with regards to the plague and other things. So he didn't really need Far Zenith either. He was just another rich, snobby person who owned a lot of property and had a lot of money. And obviously, if he is able to run this corporation, billion-dollar corporation, it was definitely smart. And his job was mining, so he understood how machines work with regards to mining resources and plowing and digging for resources. The destruction of their colony on Sirius, at the hands of Nemesis, a rogue AI. At some point after returning to Earth, he split from his cohorts. For reasons unknown. Because of this, he was not present when Aloy and her companions stopped the rest of Zenith at their base. Okay, so the Far Zeniths got destroyed by Aloy and the machines and everything during the Battle of Forbidden West, the final battle. But he managed to escape. So, if they're to make another game of Horizon, it can't involve someone else that escaped as well, another Far Zenith person that escaped, because it would just be repeating the same thing here. A guy that escaped, or a guy who wasn't with them. So even though, like, let's say someone survived that battle, a Far Zenith person survived that battle, and they have to fight Far Zenith again, it's the same as saying this guy wasn't even participating in that battle whatsoever. He was someone not on the battlefield. So they can't use another Far Zenith, one that survived or one that wasn't part of the battle anymore, as their go-to with regards to the next game. See, I could accept this as a guy that separated from the crew. He wasn't planning on doing things their way, Far Zenith way. Because even though he's a Far Zenith, he's basically is his own businessman as well. He was just probably on the board. So let's see. Yeah, they can't go this route again. They can't go with another Zenith surviving or someone didn't participate again. It has to be something that doesn't have to do with Far Zenith. Like if they're going to fight another Zenith in the next Horizon, it can't be a Zenith that escaped that final battle or wasn't part of that final battle. It has to be a reason for them to fight another Zenith in the next Horizon game. So I'm willing to accept this, that this guy wasn't on the battlefield for reasons unknown. So that's good. That's not bad. He wasn't there. It's not. He didn't. If if they did the trophy thing of one of them managed to escape and survive, that would be trophy. But he was never there from the beginning, so that's acceptable.
Another Quinn camp. Where have they all... Oh. It's a mural. Painted by a Quinn?
Yeah. I think so.
Why would they leave this here?
Doesn't matter. Let's keep moving.
If you say so. This might have been mission control for Launch's space mining operations.
Quite a display.
Yeah. Let's see what we can find.
See, now here's the thing. A lot of people who've never played the game or who don't understand the game might be questioning the reason why this new character here isn't more stunned by all this old school tech from the old world. If she's never been in this place before, why isn't she more surprised and more shocked by seeing things like this? The game already explained it in Zero Dawn and Forbidden West in the early stages. There are certain people who explore the world and explore facilities around the world, including hidden arcane places. Arcane places such as dungeons and such as forbidden areas or forbidden layers or forbidden passages associated with the old world. And most of these people who go to these places are individuals who have focus or who uses focus. In the first game, Olin was one of those people, or if I'm saying his name wrong, or Owen or Owen or something like that, was one of those people. He was about digging into the old world or uprooting old information from the old world, so he wasn't surprised to see things like this. There were other people as well. The only person I would say from either Forbidden West or from Zero Dawn that wasn't surprised to see these things was the African American guy in the first game that died, spoiler, in Forbidden West. But it really shouldn't be that much of a spoiler since that version of that game came out last year. So unless you've never played the game for over a year, you wouldn't know. But it's not that big a deal anyway. That's one of the reasons why she's not that surprised by seeing this. Because one, she carries the focus and she's explored places she's not supposed to be exploring. At least that's what I'm assuming, based on her character and what she's told Aloy. And two, typically those who do reconnaissance always follow the path of going into places they're not supposed to be, as well as especially if it's for acquiring information. So I just gave a small explanation. Now, unless it's stated specifically that this character was supposed to be more surprised seeing these things, um, these people have lived in this world for quite some time, seeing the old tech from the old world and the machines around them. So if it's like something like completely she's never experienced before, she won't be shocked a little, but not to the point that she's more surprised. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say with regards to that. Could have been done in a more surprising way, but I believe it might have took the details with regards to her character away from her and made it even questionable that why, for someone who doesn't like to follow rules and has a focus, haven't seen or exploring, don't see things like this. So that made more sense.
Locked with a code. We'll need a way through.
Maybe there's something on these consoles.
Looks like we can access the hologram from here.
Huh. There's data here. Let me see what I can access. A lot is corrupted, but it looks like some logs survived. I might be able to play them.
I found Evelyn in the control room, rooting through the logs for Alondra's passcode. Not sure how she got past security, but yeah, she's not doing so good. Just kept banging on Alondra's door, begging him to save her. I told her he was gone, but she just kept wailing. They had to drag her out.
That was the last recording. Everything else is from before 2065.
How many logs did you find?
3. No, 4.
4 entries, 4 digits. The recording said this Evelyn was looking in the data for the code. Let's try to find it.
Okay.
Looks like that unlocked another console. This displays an archive for Alondra's asteroid missions over the years. It looks like I can navigate it with my focus, so I'm not tied to the console.
Okay. Playing the first log. Uploading it to your Focus 2 for reference.
2050. A year of triumph. That first mission silenced 1,000 naysayers. When we acquired the asteroid, they held their breath. When we... wealth of planets, they came crawling, hats in hand. Ah, that flight will always be dear to me. And to history.
See those rocks floating around the Earth? I see data on them with the focus. I think we need to scan the asteroids. This is the year the log mentioned, but there are two numbers. Which one is for the code?
He mentioned the flight. Sounded like it was pretty special for him.
Must be the flight number then.
Yeah, that could be the first digit of the code.
Not a bad start. Let me know when you're ready to hear the next log.
"2050. A year of triumph. That first mission silenced 1,000 naysayers. When we acquired the asteroid, they held their breath. When we returned with the wealth of planets, they came crawling, hats in hand. Ah, that flight will always be dear to me. And to history.
Okay, let's hear the next one.
Accessing it now.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock is worth the risk. Once we grab it, I'll make Evelyn a platinum ring so she can wear our success wherever she goes.
What a great guy. No year in this log, just a mention of platinum. Maybe try cycling through the years. Might be another asteroid we can scan.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock is worth the risk.
One of these asteroids must have had platinum.
Right. Keep scanning till we find it.
No data in that one.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock has...
Oh, Platinum. This must be the right mission. But which number?
Not sure. I'll replay the audio log.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock is worth the risk. Once we grab it, I'll make Evelyn a platinum ring, so she can wear our success wherever she goes.
Don't think it's the flight number this time.
Yeah. The log mentioned the amount of platinum.
Figure it out?
Think so.
Let me know when you're ready for the third one.
Ready.
Okay, here it comes.
The accident has disturbed the ants, lawyers and publicists swarming to do damage control, carping about incalculable losses. Now what they don't see is that each death is a lesson in complacency, inspiring us to future excellence.
He doesn't see his workers as people, does he?
There's no mention of year or metal. We're looking for an accident involving miners. That's corrupted. On to the next. No data.
This one mentions miners. 8 people lost their lives, and Laundra shrugged it off like it was nothing? I'll leave it to you to pick the right number.
Well, we've got 3 digits. Just one more to find.
Guess we'll know for sure when we plug them all in. Ready for the next log. Let me know when you're ready to hear the next log. Ready to play the next log. Just let me know. Just tell me when you're ready for the next one. Just tell me when you're ready for the next one. Just tell me when you're ready for the next one. Just tell me when you're ready for the next one.
Let's hear it.
Playing it now.
My chief competitor tried to block me in Congress. But I'll have that cobalt no matter how many years it takes to dig out. Xiaolu lunar resources can stay on the moon. Everything else belongs to me.
Okay, I think I know what to look for.
All right, 1 second. There. I uploaded the last of the logs to your focus.
Thanks. As soon as I find the last number, I'll enter the full code upstairs.
My chief competitor tried to block me in Congress. But I'll have that cobalt no matter how many years it takes to dig out. Xiaolu lunar resources can stay on the moon. Everything else belongs to me.
The fourth log mentioned both Cobalt and the Xiaolu Lunar Company.
So we need a mission log with both.
Yep. Xiaolu and Cobalt. This must be it. The first number seems wrong. Maybe we need to revisit the second log. I better check my notes.
Maybe we should go back to the logs.
Okay, that didn't work. Code failed. Something's not right. Okay, that didn't work. Code failed. Something's not right.
Wow, you actually did it.
Must have been Laundra's living quarters. Right at the center of where he worked. Let's see what we can find.
That relic. Is it some sort of old gun?
A gift from a so-called friend. A reminder to always watch your back. Wonder what that's about.
What's this for?
It's some kind of award, I think. Laundra's wife was pretty well known in her time. Strange he'd keep this around. Sounded like they weren't on the best of terms at the end.
Love can make it hard to let go.
That's weird. His wife kind of looks like Aloy. And she does sci-fi. It's called Pangea. And her name is Evelyn Day. And that's a dinosaur. She time traveled to the age of dinosaurs, perhaps. Yeah. He married a woman who did a movie about time traveling involving dinosaurs. Or at least some type of power involving dinosaurs. And she looks like she's wearing makeup, like guerrilla warfare makeup. That's 100% Aloy's world in the future. Here's the thing. I wonder if during their time of their world, this type of entertainment was something due to a behavior going on in their world, like people interfering with things and experimenting with prehistoric life, and they decide to manufacture a machine based off these things. Because if that's the case, if the Pharaoh organization and his organization, either they found prehistoric life on other planets, or they dug into things related to prehistoric life and used said things in their research for the reason why they created certain machines to look like certain way. That would be fascinating if on the planet mining and research, or the type of entertainment they have during their time, is associated to things going on with their world at the time. This game will get like a full 5 points from me if I found out that they actually discover a world where dinosaurs existed. And as part of that discovery through their world, it became a fascinating thing amongst their culture. So much so, it started to influence them to make technology related to such things, such as robots in the house, or even experiments with regards to this type of agricultural mining, or creatures that could mine. It would be fascinating if that's what happened. In fact, it would be fascinating if Evelyn Day is an actress portraying a real event that happened in their world thousands of years ago. That would be the most fascinating thing in this game, and will make me give this game 5 more points if such a thing did happen, either for the Pharaoh organization, or the organization before Pharaoh organization, or something did happen, and then this actress decided to just represent this person who did this thing, or people who did this thing, in a meaningful way. That means the whole world of Horizon would be far deeper than simply people experimenting with products. No, like events in the past happened that were ginormous, and eventually this actress acted it out. I'm just giving this game more context. Flesh. I mean, it'll be fascinating if they found a planet where dinosaurs existed by going through a portal or something. Because if they use a portal to go to a dinosaur planet, or found a tech that allowed them to do so, or developed tech that allowed them to do so, or I mean, I don't like time travel stuff, but if they invented a tech that allowed them to get to a planet where dinosaurs exist, easy, not time travel, just distance travel, and then something went down and the project got shut down and stuff, or maybe it got lost, then that'd be good, because then it's not time travel, it's just a door from one location to another. Both times are still in the same time period, it's just the location to distance is closed. That I could get on board with. So this Horizon game that I'm playing will be bumped up to like high notches of the story. If there's a truly a deeper story than the one that I'm saying, which is kind of a deep story. I guess you could say it's a tropey thing, that this happened in the past and then this actress is playing it. But it's not really tropey if there's actually a dinosaur planet somewhere within this universe and they don't know it. And the fact that you fight giant looking robots in your world is because of an event that happened. That's not tropey at all. That's like a deep lore, deep story that's been seeded within this world that the developers have not given to you yet. At least that's what I'm getting from this. Or it could just be a poster. I'm giving this game more flesh, and it probably the people haven't gone to that level yet. Who made this game have probably not even thought of that stuff yet, or considered that to be a factor to be studied yet, or even an option. Maybe they're going in a totally different direction, but that's not far off from the game, or not too far from the game. It's just giving more context to the game and more things that you could use in the game for future games, like the big picture way down the road game.
Security logs for the facility. There's a recent entry.
I'm growing impatient, Nova.
Data retrieval is almost complete. I've primed the North Array for beamcast.
And you're acquiring everything from aeronautics and special ops, yes? Including the files on MSP?
Correct. There. Ready for transmission. It's a shame we have to revive that particular program, though.
Nova, darling, we have a very difficult task ahead of us. We can't afford to go soft. Reduce your empathy matrix by 15%, please.
Adjusted.
Wonderful. Now transmit the files immediately so we can get the hell out of here. This place feels like a goddamn tomb.
What was all that about?
The North Array sounds like a transmitter. If we can find it, maybe we can track Landra to whatever hole he crawled into.
Sure, but what did he come back for?
I'll explain later. Let's find a way out.
Okay, but I'll hold you to that.
And the people for Far Zenith are truly selfish people. Only care about greed and making money and fame for themselves. A way to improve the world the way they see it. So whenever they talked about improvement of the world, it was always improvement of the world to the world that they want to see, that they thought was best for everybody. I never thought about what everyone else thought that was actually best for everybody. Gave people the voting chance and stuff. Like, this is what happens when one person has power. I'm the smartest person in the room. I know what's best for everybody. Like, no. You know what's best for you. So that's what Far Zenith was. Far Zenith basically were people who were the smartest people in the room that thought that they knew what was best for everyone. It's like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I know what's best for everybody in this room. I could get us through this. The whole point of a voting system and voting existed because people like this exist in the world. That's why this country has a voting system. Because people like this are in this world. Another reason why they gave this game high points. It identifies the gross behavior of those who have power.
Okay, transmitter should be somewhere nearby. Big statue looks promising.
Those machines are in our way. Gotta clear them out. Let's get this done!
Ah, shit. I forgot that these dudes have scanners. I forgot they have scanners.
Leaving all the fun to me? There! It's tied down!
Wait, hold on.
Didn't expect you to sit this one out.
I was trying to go for it. There's another one? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm about to die. Just made it in time. Just made it in time. I was trying to go for an overall aerial combo by getting a grapple stun to a slow motion fire off shot. The amount of combos you can do in this game is pretty insane. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Get your ass up. Get your ass up. God damn it, man. It was so close. Okay. I didn't even use my smoke bomb. It's my bad. I'm gonna play smart this time.
Quick! Well, it's brittle!
There you go. That was the combo I was trying to get.
I
Unfortunately,
think that's the last one. Now let's take a look at that section.
he didn't show his weak
That would
point
be
until
better
the
have
last moment.
answers.
Otherwise, I would have got that combo off. Probably would have got a trophy for that too. I mean, here's another reason why this game is good. The game actually gives you these things to tell you, as well as herbs and other stuff around the area, to tell you ways to beat this enemy faster, or ways to dodge out this enemy so you don't die faster. Another thing about this game is good. The enemies are all hard if you want to play the hard way, but there are ways to defeat the enemies, and you could simply use the benefit of this and this, and if you have enough airtime you could go back to a glide again. So it could go all the way up and go for that, a stat, and then another air, and that, and then another air. You could get at least a good 2 airs before you even hit the floor. Get 2 arrows off before you even hit the floor. Like you could get 2 shot offs. You could do it evade to an aerial attack, to another aerial attack, switch mid weapons in flight, and get off another arrow. So I'm going to see if that theory actually works. I know I can get 2 shot off and 2 aerials, but if I could switch weapons to do it, I'll see if I could do it. That'll make the game even better. Yes, you can. If you're fast enough, you could use your hand and then there.
Looks like this is part of a transmitter. Okay, Alondra. Where are you hiding? Got you. The data was sent to a location west of here.
Data on what? I need to know what's going on. Find where Laundra went? Then let's talk. Aloy! Over here! Find where Laundra went? Then let's talk. Find where Laundra went? Then let's talk.
Yeah, you could get some sick combos off. In fact, you could even,
Aloy! Over here!
if I really wanted to, I could have just did this all day. and then do a aim, and then do this. And then do a fire, then this. Yeah, if I had used I should have done that from the beginning rather than struggle.
Aloy, over here. What was going on in that hologram back there? And why exactly did Landra come here? And what is he doing with my people?
He used them to dig up this place to find some old data. Part of it has to do with something called MSP, which I've never heard of before, but the rest... I think he's trying to build a ship to get off this world and into the stars.
Off this world? Why would anyone want to do that? There's something you're not telling me. Oh, you're just like a diviner, full of secrets.
Oh yeah? Well, what about you? The way you reacted to that mural back in the ruin? Care to explain?
Fine. I guess we'll both hold our tongues for now.
All right, look. The important thing is that we know where Landra went, and that's probably where he took your people. And your sister.
You're right, of course. I should report back to the Admiral before we go any further. I'll use the boat we saw from the air to return.
Okay, I'll find you there later. Seika was really fired up. Telling her about Nemesis. I can't do that to her. Not now. Not when she's worried about her sister. It's too much of a burden. Right? For now, maybe I should focus on stocking up. I can meet Seika when it's time to pick up Landra's
Okay, so I'm gonna give this game like, okay, so I started the game. I gave it 1.4 for how they improve the combat even more with regards to skills and how that's beneficial in combat. But the story seems to be getting a little bit better as we go. Apparently, selfishness of the Zenith, the mining, the development of the world, overall story, not the specific story of Burning Shore. The overall story is getting better. So I'll give the game another point for that. And traversal, not just related to skills itself, but traversal in combat with relations to skills, because they give you the skills, and traversal with relations to the skills, which I already give a point from, makes the game more fun. So from a fun factor, it's even more fun than when it was in Forbidden West. So I already gave the Forbidden West a total game, so points with regards to its combat. So technically this is just a separate experience from Forbidden West. So I'm just giving it points based on the separate experience itself. Now if I want, I could add those points to Forbidden West in order to elevate Forbidden West even more, apart from the DLC, or I could combine them. But for right now, apart from the DLC, it's already 3 points in my book. So if I was to start anything from a 5 rating going up from the beginning of the game to where it is now, from my first battles to this little group battle right here, I would say it's 3 points. So I'm at a 5.3 with regards to the game so far. With regards to the expansion game, not the overall game. If I want, I could add those 3 extra points to the overall game, Horizon Forbidden West, and the game will be, in my opinion, at a 9.5. If I added those 3 points, it would already be at 9.5. Because if I'm not mistaken, I gave this game either a 9.2 or 9.3 when I gave it my finalization with regards to the game. But I also said anyone who didn't like the game could give the game a flat 9. So even if you gave the game a flat 9, 3 things have improved since then in Burning Shores, and the overall story is slightly improved. The combat is improved with regards to new additions and everything, and the fun factor is improved just a little bit. So I gave it like points for that. So I'm at a 5.3 with regards to the expansion right now, and a 9.5 with regards to the overall game. The expansion added to the overall game. But let's say if I was the picky type, I was to have this game at an 8.8, like most people have this game at 8.7, 8.8. Those 3 points added will already make the game about a 9, in my opinion. So those who thought the game was in the 8s, the DLC, the Burning Shore, will definitely get it up to the 9 territory. And those who have the game in the 9 territory already, whether it's no low 9s or mid 9s, the game is already, with those 3 points I just add, will make it guaranteed mid 9s. So this is turning out as a whole, Forbidden West and its DLC is turning out to be a game that will end in the high 9 territory. And if the DLC, or should I say this expansion, ends well, and it's even more fun, and the final boss is great, then I'm going to have this game, Horizon Forbidden West, and the Burning Shore expansion as together as one, in the high 9s. And no one could say I'll be wrong, because the Burning Shores is not just going to add 1 or 2 things that are going to be good. It's going to add several things that are going to be good. So those who had the game in the 8s definitely is going to have the game in the 9s now. And those who had the game in the 9s are definitely going to get this game up to the mid 9s or high 9s. That means if the Burning Shore does go down the way I think it's going to go down, with what I'm given, I basically see 8.7, 9.7, 9.8 territory. If it's good, if the ending is good, the combat leading up to the ending is good, I see 9.7, 9.8 territory for both the Horizon Forbidden West and the expansion together. The expansion by itself is to be determined, but right now I have no complaints with regards to the game. I'm already at a 5.3 with regards to the expansion as its own thing, like its own game, separate and aside from Forbidden West. So I'll keep proceeding forward, and I'll continue this tomorrow. I'm gonna hop on to Warframe right now, but I'll continue this tomorrow.